Chapter 1 The Monster from the Deep. I am Professor Aronnax. My job is to study everything dead or alive under the sea. I see beautiful and ugly things down there. There is one strange experience that stays in my mind like a nightmare. It was 1867. Some sailors said that they saw a dangerous giant monster living in the cold waters of the ocean. Some ships tried to find it and kill it, but they never returned. People said it looked like a whale. It was 300 feet long. Water came out of its back. It was like a big, underwater explosion. The largest whale was only 180 feet long, and if these men were right, this was even larger. I was famous because I was the writer of a book called The Mysteries of the Great Ocean Depths. When the captain of the American ship the Abraham Lincoln decided to leave and look for the monster, he asked me to go with them as an expert. The idea was very exciting. I invited my faithful assistant and good friend Conseil to go with me. He always helps me to organize the names and places of the wonderful strange sea creatures that we find in the oceans of the world. He accepted the invitation and we got ready to go. The Abraham Lincoln left New York Harbor on the 3rd of July, 1867. 500,000 people were there to say goodbye. Ned Land, the famous whale killer, was also on the ship. Farragut, the captain of the ship, was a strong and brave man. When we first met, he shook my hand and smiled at me. "Don't worry. The ocean isn't big enough for both the sea monster and me. I'll kill it or it will kill me. I know is that one of us will die." I didn't like this idea, but I didn't say anything at the time. We sailed for 3 months and we never saw the creature once. The men wanted to find and kill the sea monster, but after all this time everyone on the ship started to believe that there was no monster. And then, it happened. It was nighttime and we were 200 miles on the coast of Japan when suddenly Ned Land, the harpooner, cried out. "There it is. Don't lose it. I want it. Dead or alive." The men on the ship began to run and shout. "Get the ropes. Prepare the cannons." The creature looked as if it was asleep. We could see it because there was a strange light under the water. Then, a cannon fired at the monster. A cannonball hit it, but it didn't move. Captain Farragut didn't know what to do. My God! If a cannon can't kill this monster, what can? Just then, I saw Ned Land, with his harpoon in his hands, climbing to the front of the ship. Everyone watched him silently. I saw the harpoon leave his hand and hit the giant creature right in its back. Water shot out of the wound. Its force knocked me right out of the ship into the dark cold ocean. Chapter 2 Saved from the ocean. I found myself underwater. It was very cold and I tried hard to get to the top and breathe. When my head was finally above the waves, I saw that the Abraham Lincoln was more than 100 feet away. Help! Help! No one could hear me. My clothes felt heavy in the water. I felt something touch me on the leg. I was terrified. I thought it was a shark, or even the monster. "Sir, are you all right, sir?" Thank God, it was my faithful assistant Conseil. "Conseil, my boy, what are you doing here?" "When I saw you fall into the water, sir, I felt it was my duty to follow you." "But why did you risk your life to save mine?" "Your life, sir, is more important than mine." "Oh, thank you. You are a true friend." "But what happened to the ship?" "I'm afraid the whale hit the ship, sir. It can't turn around." It was true. The Abraham Lincoln moved away from us. It couldn't turn back. It was dark and we knew that we had to stay in the water for the night. We hoped dial in the morning. Someone from the ship could see us if we were still alive. We were tired. We tried to help each other swim. The moon came out from behind the clouds and we saw that Abraham Lincoln was too far away. Just then, we felt we couldn't swim any longer. At that moment, I touched something hard. I thought it was a rock, but then I realized it was metal. Conseil and I held onto it. And then, we heard a voice. "Hey, Hey, over here. It was Ned Land's voice, but we couldn't see him. We tried to move onto this strange metal object to get close to him. It's me. Ned. Ned Land. Did you fall into the water too? I sure did, and it was a good thing I landed on this. I landed on the monster. Monster. You mean we're on the monster? Yes. And it's moving. Only, it's no monster. It's a ship. He was right. What all of us thought was a large whale was a 300-foot-long underwater ship. Ned sat on a platform which was on top of the ship. We knocked on the ship's sides, but they were too thick and no one heard us. We heard the noise of the ship's engine. I only hope it doesn't go under the water. The mysterious ship began to sink before Ned finished his sentence. Help! 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 Suddenly the ship stopped sinking. A short man in strange black clothes opened a secret door on the top of the ship. When he saw us, he ran back inside, frightened. 2 minutes later, 6 large men with black masks came out, took us by the arms and took us down inside the ship. Chapter 3. Inside the Nautilus, they took us through a long dark tunnel. We could see nothing around us. They put us into a dark room, then closed the door behind us. A light came on. The room was empty. It only had a table and 5 chairs in the middle. Ned Land got very angry. They mustn't treat me like this. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm getting out of here. Do you hear me? I want out. Ned screamed at the locked door, but no one answered his call. Don't use all your energy, Mr. Land. We may need it later. Quite right, Conseil. As usual, you speak with your mind and not your heart. The door opened again after some minutes. 2 men stood there in front of us. One was tall with dark, serious eyes. The other was short. He looked at us without any interest. The 2 men wore black hats and shoes made from seal skin. Their clothes looked thin and comfortable. They spoke a language which I did not understand. I spoke to them in French, German and English. I told them our story, but they did not seem to understand. Mr. Land got angry again. You listen to me. You let us off this ship. There's no reason to be angry, Mr. Land. It is I who should be angry with you. The tall man was calm and he spoke perfect English. He surprised all of us, and we didn't say a word. You are on the Nautilus. I am its captain, and my name is Captain Nemo. This ship, and my own life, is a secret to the outside world. I do not want to see that world again. I live here, under the sea. You will stay here with me, but you will have the same freedom everyone else on the ship has. What does that mean, Captain? That means that you are free to see all the wonderful things under the sea. No man in your world can ever see these things. I am saying, gentlemen, that you are very lucky. You mean we'll never go home again? That's impossible. Mr. Land, you gave me no choice. I do not want anybody to know my secret. You attacked my ship. You found me. Now, you must do what I say. Ned Land was not happy at all. I can only say that I was very interested in this strange man. Where did he come from? Why did he leave our world? Captain Nemo spoke to the short man in their strange language, then the short man left us. Then he tried to be friendly.